Hello, fellow YouTubers, and welcome to the first episode of Auctions of the Week. As a channel mostly dedicated to Pokemon, you would expect this to be Pokemon auctions. However, for this first week, we're focusing on some One Piece trading card game auctions. Now, before we get into it, I'm going to give a brief history of One Piece for those who don't know. From the anime capital of the world in Japan, the first episode aired in October of 1999. It now has over 1,100 episodes, and because of this popularity, it has a live action series on Netflix that aired in August of 2023. Now, focusing on the card game, it was released in Japan of July of 2022 in the midst of the trading card game spike that was a result from the pandemic. Now, this is a time where many TCGs sprouted up from the ground, from the woodworks, and failed. Now forward to mid-2024, where the collectible market has corrected itself from the pandemic highs, One Piece remains strong. I think this has to do with the fact that, just like Pokemon, it has had a long history of a successful anime, which is almost 25 years ago. Now that we've had a brief history out of the way, let's get into the auctions. The first One Piece card we're showing off is a PSA 10 Boa Hancock alternate art from 500 years in the future, which sold for $112.50. Next, we have the Perona alternate art, which is an official event prize, PSA 10. This was awarded to the top 8 players from certain tournaments in 2024, which sold for $181.50. We have a Onami special art from 500 years in the future in a PSA 10, selling for $204.50. Now going to English for the official face of One Piece, we have a Beckett 10 Pristine of Monkey D. Luffy from the starter deck pre-release that sold for a total of $206.46. Next up, we have the Sabo Magna art from Kingdoms of Intrigue in a Beckett 9.5 that sold for $222.50. Now coming back to English, we have from Romance Dawn, Yamato Black Label Pristine 10 that sold for a total of $251.50. Now from the PWCC auction, we have a Japanese Monkey D. Luffy in a Black Label top prize promo that sold for $324. Continuing with the Beckett slabs, we have a Kobe top 64 prize from the Treasure Cup in a English Beckett 10 that sold for $350. Another Black Label pre-release tournament winner card, Rorano Zoro, that sold for a total of $472.46. Now, coming back over to the Japanese side of the trading card game, we have a PSA 10 Kaido official event top prize that sold for a total of $503. Now, this card was for the winners of the flagship battle in Japan in November and December of 2023. This one might look familiar from earlier in the video. However, this version is in a PSA 10 and is in English and sold for a total of $660. Now, in case you didn't know, these manga alt arts are very rare, and the probability of pulling them is 1 in every 3 cases, and there's 12 boxes in the case, so basically pulling 1 in every 36 boxes, hence the hefty premium. Now, before we get into the highlight big boys and girls of the auction, we're going to go over some sealed product. The first one being is the 2024 Wings of the Captain OP6 booster box that sold for $216. Next, we have the 2023 One Piece Paramount War booster box that sold for $288. Now we have the first, the one and only Romance Dawn in English that sold for $540. And wait, is this the same thing? That sold for $900? You're right, it is, except there is a difference. Do you know what the difference is between this box and this box? Now, the box that sold for $900, which is almost $300 more than the other box, is the Wave 1 booster box, which can be depicted by having a blue bottom, which you can't see in this photo. However, in this photo, you can see that it has a white bottom, so that means it was a reprint. Would you pay an extra $300 to have Wave 1 of the One Piece Romance Dawn booster box? Let me know in the comments. We are now going to take a look at some of the higher priced sold auctions for One Piece cards, starting off with the Monkey D. Garp treasure promo that was awarded to the top 16 players, and a Beckett Pristine 10 that sold for $1,275. Next up, we have a card that was given out to the top 32 players of certain One Piece tournaments, the Kuzan Championship promo in English, Beckett Pristine 10 that sold for $325. Next up, we have the Marco Championship promo that is also awarded to the top 32 players of the One Piece tournaments that sold in a Beckett 10 for $1,525. Now, the runner up to our One Piece auctions of the week is a 2023 Beckett 9.5 Shanks Japanese card that is serialized to 1,065. That sold for a total of $1,620. Now, the winner of our One Piece auctions of the week goes out to the same card, except changing the language to English and increasing the grade by 0.5 for Beckett Pristine 10 of Shanks, serialized to 1,000, which sold for a staggering $6,100. Well, that concludes our first auctions of the week video featuring One Piece. Thank you for tuning in, and would appreciate any likes or comments if you enjoyed the video, if you found it useful at all, so I can continue making these videos in the future. Until next time, peace.